Good morning. What a difference a year makes. Look at this beautiful full house with family present to witness this amazing day. I'm Chaplain Michelle Nicole, and I have the honor of being chaplain of this amazing Wake Forest University School of Medicine, and have walked alongside these PA students and their faculty through many challenging times and beautiful times. Let me first acknowledge the Catawba and the Cherokee tribes upon whose land we sit. And class of 2022, take a moment, take a deep breath to remember all of those who have helped you along the way. Your faculty, all the support staff who make events like this happen, all the ones who get your grades in the grade book, every single person who's helped you along the way, your mentors, your family, your friends, maybe that dog or cat who comforted you during the rough times. I really invite you to open your heart right now and open a space for gratitude. So with that said, remember you're standing on their shoulders. Now, class of 2022, we're going to open this celebratory time to acknowledge your accomplishments and your transition in this very old tradition of a hooding ceremony. May it be so.
Graduates, family, friends, colleagues, and those joining us virtually from all over, I welcome you to the PA class of 2022 Hooding and Awards ceremony. I'm Gail Bodner, the proud chair of the Department of PA Studies. This is such a wonderful celebration, and I am particularly grateful that we can gather together to acknowledge the accomplishments of these graduates today. So you did it. 2 years ago, you joined our program. I'm sure during Unit 1 Anatomy, maybe Unit 4 Neuro, maybe your first rotation, maybe your last rotation, you thought this day would never come. Whether you were in Boone, in Winston-Salem, or across the state on a rotation, you worked incredibly hard, very hard, and this day indeed has arrived. I had the great privilege of teaching and learning from this talented group of students. As many of you know, the core of our curriculum builds on foundations of lifelong learning. Medicine is not static, and you cannot be complacent as a clinician in your knowledge and skills. It is no secret that most of the faculty teach, at least in part, so that we can learn alongside our students. I am currently reading the book, My Beloved World, by Justice Sonia Sotomayor. In it, she states, "There are no bystanders in life. Our humanity makes us each a part of something greater than ourselves. Despite a complicated virus, escalating, painful, and recent racial injustices, and a pretty 2 hard years of PA school, this class embodied that charge by Justice Sotomayor to our humanity, to look at something greater than ourselves, to look more deeply, to have more impactful change. And while I do not know the stories of all the families and friends that supported these graduates, thank you for sustaining them." And so I welcome you graduates as my colleagues into a wonderful profession, a profession that will challenge you and reward you even more. As many of you know, this 52-year-old program has a legacy of leaders who shaped our profession in North Carolina and across our nation. Many sitting in this room today. And we are also joined by many talented PAs who advocate for their patients and their profession for decades. You have benefited from their courage and dedication. And so you will find that you carry at times a great and heavy legacy. Being a Wake Forest-trained PA means that more will be expected of you, from your colleagues, from your institutions, and from yourselves. Be relentless with your lifelong learning. Continue to let your patients be your teachers. Say yes to opportunities to step forward. Be brave in your advocacy for your patients, for your profession, and for the humanity that Justice Sotomayor says makes us greater than ourselves. This is important because you are ready to soar. You are not the same as when you arrived. And we could not be more proud for you to carry the Wake Forest name. So let me be the first to say today, congratulations, class of 2022. And now it is my great honor to introduce our CEO of Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist, Chief Academic Officer, and Dean of the Wake Forest University School of Medicine, and what I'd like our family and friends to know, an incredible advocate for PAs, Dr. Julie Freischlag.
So welcome to the PA class of 2022, all the faculty, friends, and families. Just this last weekend, my son got married in Baltimore, and one of my best friends ever is Lisa Colvert-Rodolini, who actually was the first PA I got to work with in a surgical program at Hopkins, and she's my best friend to this day, and it was so great to see her as she works in Phoenix at Mayo Clinic. It is wonderful and energizing and even a bit emotional to be here today in person with all of you. Finally, we're trying to figure out graduation for the medical school this afternoon, and we sort of forgot how to do it because it was 3 years ago when we were together at Wake Chapel. But mostly, it's a great time to share all of your accomplishments together as the incredible Wake Forest University School of Medicine community that we are. The 88 students in this PA class have been remarkable. As the first to train during the pandemic, thinking back 2 years ago. You've been through a COVID-19 marathon, but you made it. There's still a little bit out there, and the finish line is here. I did think about your class recently when I was in Chicago at the Chicago Art Institute. I trained at Rush Medical School, and I love going to the Chicago Art Institute. They have an exhibit on Georgia O'Keeffe, who's one of my favorite artists. She was bold, she was daring, she used incredible color and scale. And she was a master of imagination and innovation. She once said, "Making your unknown known is the most important thing, and keeping the unknown always beyond you." So I think this quote rings true for this class. You've been through the unknown. You saw how a medical event like COVID-19 can change the world overnight, and the critical importance of scientific discovery and caring for patients from all walks of life with compassion and equity. And you made your unknown known, making new discoveries about yourself, your patients, and the PA profession. You were courageous, curious, creative, and you turned your energy into action. I recently had the pleasure of talking with your program director, Brian Peacock, about how this class had advanced diversity, equity, and inclusion through your involvement in admissions, the Racial Equity Task Force, curricular development, and pathway programs. And I can't thank you enough. We are committed to building a more diverse PA program, and together with your efforts, I'm proud to share that our incoming class has the highest percentage of underrepresented minorities in our program's history. And we know we must continue to build on this momentum. Reflecting the diversity of the communities we serve is so important for improving health equity and access, providing the best possible care for patients, and creating a space where all belong. As you take your next exciting step in the PA profession, I encourage you to stay curious for change and to take the leap toward opportunity. Aspire high, curious, keep discovering the unknowns out there, and lead forward with empathy, heart, and the various highest level of compassion for those you have the privilege to serve. It has been an honor for all of us at the School of Medicine to teach and train and work alongside of you, and everyone that scrubbed with me in my cases that got to cut that rib. I'll always remember you with that. You can explain that to your families later. And we are so proud of your accomplishments. We wish you the very best in every future success. Congratulations. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Caroline Sisson, Assistant Professor and Vice Chair of Education and Curricular Innovation in the Department of PA Studies.
Good morning, everyone. I have to take this moment first to congratulate the class of 2022. I have to say, this is not my first graduation, but I think it's the first time I've seen graduates in tears because they're so excited to be here. As PA Bodner and Dr. Freischlag alluded to, you all have been through it. You've had so many things thrown your way in what's already a very rigorous 2 years. My heart sank yesterday when I learned again of some more very difficult news, right, as you all are preparing to graduate. But you know what I thought about? I thought about Mr. Rogers' quote, to look for the helpers. And I found so much solace in knowing that you all are the helpers. You all are going to be the helpers for those people in a world that is relentless and full of pain. You all are going to be the hope and the light for so many people. And I'm so proud of you for that. There is so much compassion and desire for good in this class, and it makes me so excited to think about you all going out all over the country and all over the world and spreading that elsewhere. I can't think of a better way to commemorate your graduation than hearing from our keynote speaker today. So I have the pleasure of introducing today's keynote speaker, Dr. Holly Pilson. Dr. Pilson is a graduate of the University of South Carolina and the Wake Forest University School of Medicine. She completed her residency in orthopedic surgery at Wake Forest Baptist Health and a fellowship in orthopedic trauma surgery at Sonoran Orthopedic Trauma Surgeons in Scottsdale, Arizona. She is currently a board-certified orthopedic trauma surgeon and associate professor of orthopedic surgery here at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. She holds many leadership roles, including Vice Chair of Social Impact, Co-Director of Diversity and Inclusion, Co-Director of Clinical Research, and Medical Student Clerkship Director for the Department of Orthopedic Surgery and Rehabilitation. Dr. Pilson is a proud member of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina and is the first and only Lumbee orthopedic surgeon from her tribe of over 55,000 members. Dr. Pilson has a passion for health equity and workforce diversity in the field of medicine in general and orthopedic surgery specifically. She serves as an active mentor through various mentorship programs at Wake Forest Baptist Health, as well as national programs including Nth Dimensions and the J. Robert Gladden and Ruth Jackson Orthopedic Societies. Second only to her dedication to compassionate patient-centered care lies her passion for educating the next generation of surgeons, physician assistants, nurses, and beyond. In 2021, Dr. Pilson was the resident of the Wake Forest Orthopedic Surgery, won the Resident Orthopedic Surgery Resident Teaching Award, and the Wake Forest Family Medicine Residency Outstanding Faculty Award, and the Wake Forest School of Medicine Orthopedic Surgery and Rehabilitation Faculty of the Year. Ultimately, I think our clinical director summed it up nicely. Dr. Pilson is a total boss. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Holly Pilson.
Good morning. What an incredible honor it is to have been asked to address you all, the graduating PA class of 2022. Being that this is my first ever graduation address, when I received the call and the invitation to speak, I must say I was truly humbled, but also pretty immediately panicked. What should I talk about? Should I tell a story? Should I tell a joke? Should I be inspirational? Should I be funny? And the list goes on, right? So, as I'm sure most of you would do in my shoes, I began a little informal polling of those around me. I asked almost everyone I knew, tell me about your graduation address. Who spoke? What did they say? And perhaps as you yourself reflect on that same question, many of you will reach the same conclusion as the majority of the people I asked. I don't even remember. So alas, the pressure was officially off. I took a deep breath, so I invite you to do the same. Relax, take a deep breath, and hopefully something I say will stick with you as you walk into this next chapter as a PA. So what a great accomplishment you have all achieved today. You should be so very proud of yourselves. I know that all those here today who are here to support you, and all those who are joining us virtually and maybe who couldn't be here in person, family, friends, your colleagues, and your peers and your instructors are also very proud and beaming with joy for you today. And as was previously mentioned, as I was preparing for today, I realized that while you may not be the first graduating PA class from Wake Forest, you are certainly the first to have successfully completed PA school almost exclusively virtually and during a global pandemic. You have prevailed the storms of navigating Zoom, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and all the other virtual platforms to learn, to connect with each other, and to navigate your own well-being during a pandemic. And for that, I think we should all applaud you. So today and this weekend, and even this week, are all about you and celebrating this great accomplishment. And for some of you who may celebrate your entire birth month and not just the day, you know who you are, you may even be able to milk this out for the entire month of May. And if that is you, then you do you, okay? But in a month or two, when the confetti has settled and you report on your first day as a PA, as a brand new PA on the job, it will no longer be about you. In this long and sometimes difficult pursuit of medicine, whether it be as a physician, a PA, a nurse practitioner, a nurse, or otherwise, it can become easy to lose sight of why we even do this to begin with. The pursuit can be very inward and performance-driven. How did I score on that entrance exam? What did I make on the test? Late nights, early mornings, so many sacrifices financially, sacrificing sleep, and so much more. But when day one arrives, day one of your brand new job, it will be about the many patients and families who are depending on you. On that day and the days following, the test scores, the class ranks, where you graduated will no longer matter. You will officially enter the ranks of being a true first-line worker. And that term, first-line worker, really took on a new meaning in the age of the COVID-19 pandemic. And many of you may very well be working on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic and future pandemics to come. But you all, as PAs, have always been the original frontline workers, even before the COVID-19 pandemic. You will often be the first clinician our patient encounters when they enter our doors, whether that's in the clinic, in the emergency department, in our hospital, or other places. You will be the first person to diagnose a heart murmur, the first to hear about a patient dealing with depression, and the first to relieve someone's arthritic knee pain with an injection in the clinic. I had to throw an orthopedic reference in there. But most importantly, you will be the first with the opportunity to extend kindness and compassion to someone in their greatest time of need. And I hope you don't take that for granted. It is truly a great honor and responsibility that we all have as healthcare clinicians to be trusted to help guide the prevention, the diagnosis, the treatment, and the rehabilitation of injury and disease. And to whom much is given, much is expected. So there are just a few last things I would hope you remember and take with you into this new chapter of your life. The first thing I hope you would remember is great things never come from comfort zones. Now today is pretty comfortable. You've accomplished something that you've been working towards for the past 2 years and perhaps even before that. But soon you will need to become comfortable with the fact that you will not know it all, and that's okay. The moment you feel like you do know it all, you should probably find a different career. But also realize that you know more than you give yourself credit for. Cling to the principles that you have learned in these past 2 years and get ready to build on them with each shift that you work, with each day, and with each decade to come. Today may feel like you've reached the summit after a long, hard climb. And for a while it will be. But soon the clouds are going to recede and you're going to notice that there are more summits ahead to climb. Your learning journey is only just beginning and will continue and continue as you continue in this great practice. As medicine and research evolve, so too will your practice of medicine. Much of what you learned in the past 2 years will one day be pretty obsolete. So get comfortable being a little uncomfortable. A smooth sea never made for a skilled sailor. Next, I hope that you will take with you that your patients have a story to tell. Listen to them, really listen, like with the same passion that you have for being heard. They may never remember everything you say, and like Dr. Maya Angelou said, they will always remember how you made them feel. Also, I hope you remember that there's always someone watching. For many of you already have those, and your children, maybe your siblings, those that look up to you. Once you walk through the door that has been opened to you into the next chapter of your life, completing PA school, don't forget to hold the door open for someone else. Reach back and show others the way. Your legacy will not be in where you graduated from or what your class rank was. It won't even be in the publications or presentations or accolades. Your legacy will carry on in those that you teach and those you inspire. And in closing, I want to leave you with this. You are needed. In your role as a PA, you will always be needed. Your patients will need you. Your colleagues will need you. Families will need you. But always remember, you need you too. So be kind to yourself. Practice self-care every chance that you get. Put on your own oxygen mask first. Because the only way to meet the needs of those you care for is to meet your own needs first. Extend compassion and grace to yourself first, so that it may spread to others that you serve. Thank you again for this opportunity, and congratulations on this great achievement.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrea McKinnon, and I am an assistant professor of PA Studies here in the Wake Forest School of Medicine. This was my first class that I truly watched grow and learn, and I am exquisitely proud of them, not just because of their growth, but also because of my growth. They have taught me, I have learned from them, and because of them, I'll never be the same. I have the pleasure of reading each one of their names as they come across the stage to be hooded today. I hope that you'll join in the celebration with each of the graduates. Applause, raise your hands, do everything that you can to show that you love and appreciate and honor what they have been through over the past 2 years. You ready? Alexandra Christine Antos. Graduating with distinction, Mary Caroline Austin. Graduating with distinction, Lauren Elizabeth Autry. Joe Bands. Graduating with distinction, Kathleen Whitley Barber. Graduating with distinction, Alexandria Lauren Blakesley. Graduating with distinction, Michaela Sandra Blyle. Victoria Alice Britt. Graduating with distinction, Annie Frances Campbell. Caroline Robinson Carmichael. Amy Chen. Melissa Ann Chen. Jackie Kim Chun. Emily Bryant Cole. Graduating with distinction, Kiara Pena Corliss. Russell D. Davis. Emily Jean Emanuelson. Katie Lauren Fessler. Caitlin Bell Finnegan. Connor Matthew Fleming. Hannah Marie France. Caroline Mackenzie Fugate. Savannah Ray Fusaro. Graduating with distinction, Allison Maureen Gallivan. Rebecca Marie Gardner. Lexi Nicole Geiger. Alyssa Catherine Godfrey. Tierra Dantrell Goodgreen. Graduating with distinction, Lily Swift Hallgren. Olivia Claire Herter. Kendra Page Hogan. Eric Allen Hudspeth. Bobby J. Hurst. Kira Jones Jackson. Graduating with distinction, Brooke Nicole Jones. Taylor Danielle Jones. Emily Page Keller. Catherine Anderson Klett. Elise Ray Corey. Leah Fixler Cram. Cheyenne Alicia Lashmit. Crystal Rain Lepley. Claudia Barbara Lewis. Taylor Nicole Lewis. Grace Catherine Leffler. Catherine Armstrong Lovett. Michelle Nguyen Mai. Alexandra Elizabeth Mallison. Graduating with distinction, Macy Alexandra Mantooth. Elizabeth Claire Mappis. Victoria Virginia Marcy. Annie McEachran. Hannah Louise Micah. Laura Maine Monahan. Tyler William Moore. Dalton Edward Nichols. Grace Junping Nicholas Morris. Danielle Rebecca O'Connor Tolson. Anna Meiling Olson. Victor Mauricio Pereira. Graduating with distinction, Christian Henry Prosperi. Madison Alexandra Redwine. Gabriela Maria Rodriguez. Lauren Tyler Romehilt. Camille Macy Brown Rumpf. Graduating with distinction, Rachel Diane Sather. Allison K. Schlucker. Morgan Elizabeth Scott. Sabrina Shakya. Patrice Lachey Shaw. Graduating with distinction, Lauren Nicole Smith. Sarah Elaine Smoot. Graduating with distinction, Catherine Hope Sue. Megan Kathleen Sotak. Evthokia Elizabeth Spears. Alexia Marie Stanley. Allison Ann Stickle. Nina Alexandra Talamas. Lexi Jane Talbert. Madison Taylor Tenkata. Teresa Tao Trong. Cortland Caroline Viss. Graduating with distinction, Sarah Elizabeth Waddle. Sadie Knight Wanamaker. Graduating with distinction, Jonathan Brandon Ware. Sarah Jessica Warshan. Abby Rebecca Leigh Webb. Emily Rose Wolf. Thank you, and please give our graduates one more round of applause.
Well, that really is a hard act to follow. Well, I'm Kathy Shaw, faculty member with PA Studies, and I really want to welcome all of you to this joyous occasion. It's always, graduations are always just so exciting for me. It's just a culmination of hard effort and work and just passing batons on to these wonderful graduates to take care of all our patients. But I certainly also enjoy seeing everybody's smiling faces, okay? Tearful or smiling, it's all good though. It's definitely all good. And I know that you are so happy about this day. It's finally arrived, okay? 2 hard years. And as I would always say, the sun is shining and the sky is blue. which I think is a great sign for your bright futures. So, thank you, weather. But I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the class of 2022. And I'm so very proud of you. Also so excited to call you my colleagues and future clinical preceptors for PA students from Wake Forest. So, I would like for the class of 2022 to stand and join with me reciting the PA oath that's located in your program. And I know the audience would love to hear your proudful voices in regard to reading the special professional oath that will follow you during your many successes as physician assistants. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will hold personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will actively seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with older members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor. So, if the class of 2022 will please remain standing, and I want to share with you my special tradition to send you off to a successful future as physician assistants. Please be seated.
was amazing. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Geigler, and I have the privilege of serving on faculty at Wake PA Studies, as well as the Director of Clinical Education, with these truly incredible human beings. Class of 2022, I just need to say that I am very, very proud of you. I can't tell you how excited I am to celebrate with you all today, and just the amazing accomplishment that you have done these last 2 years. Last thing I'll say to you all is, don't be a stranger. I know you all have my phone number. So today I have the distinct pleasure of announcing the winner of the Community Partnership Award. This award is chosen by our awards committee and is given to a community partner who has shown outstanding service to our students, faculty, and staff. This year I'm excited to announce that we'll be awarding 2 Community Partnership Awards. The awards this year are being given to both an individual preceptor as well as a particular office of managers, providers, nursing staff, front staff, who have created an amazing learning environment for 88 students over the past 7 years. And 12 of those 88 students are sitting right here. This year, the Community Partnership Award goes to a very special preceptor who is actually retiring this year, and an amazing pediatric office who have been devoted to Wake PA for years. Ms. Monica Brown, who is the Associate Director of Operations, will be receiving the award for the Winston East Pediatric Office and the amazing Bill Dillard.
Well, definitely I'm not Bill Dillard, and I promise I won't hold you as long as he would if he were here. It is an honor and a pleasure to stand before you and accept these awards on behalf of Mr. Bill Dillard and the entire staff of Winston East Pediatrics. Of course, Bill wanted me to share a few things with you, and I had to ask special permission to be able to say a few words, and they were granted to me, and I appreciate that. 1, this is a great honor to be recognized by his alma mater. 2, he regrets he could not be here with you, but as a servant of the community, his first responsibility is to his family. He was unable to share this day with you because one of his daughters is graduating with her doctorate of technology and education, and one of his grandbabies is turning 3. He is asking each graduate to be a ripple in the pond. He is a ripple from the late and legendary Dr. Charlie Kennedy, who served the East Winston community for almost 4 decades, and many of those years as the only African-American pediatrician in the city. Be a ripple by sharing your skills and compassion with your patients and their families, and continue to grow future physician assistants. He had one final assignment for me. If your path has ever crossed with Dr. Charlie Kennedy, Dr. Pamela Dockery Howard, or Bill Dillard, please wave your hand. I've completed my task. These are their ripples in the pond that will carry forth the legacy of serving and being of service to their communities. It has been the highlight of my career to work with and learn from these 3 amazing individuals. And each day, I do my absolute best to be a positive impact on every life that I touch, as I am standing on their shoulders and represent them. I thank you for this opportunity to speak on his behalf, and thank you for these very meaningful and special awards.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Nathan Bates. I'm a faculty member here at Wake Forest PA Studies. And I always look forward to the hooding and the awards ceremonies because the energy in this air, the joy and the excitement on all of your faces is contagious. And seeing the support from family and friends behind you, but who we know have been all around you in this journey, I can't help but smile. And with this, as many have said already, we are incredibly grateful and proud of each one of you and all that you have accomplished these past 2 years. Today, I'm honored to present the James Franklin Wilson Award, and this is the highest award given to a PA student, soon to be PAC or certified, and the selection is not taken lightly by the committee composed of our program director, our medical director, director of clinical education, and a peer representative, Katie Sue. And I want to thank you, Katie, for serving in this role, as this is an honor in and of itself. But this year's recipient, though, is an individual who has set themselves apart by demonstrating tremendous aptitude and devotion to the PA profession, not out of selfish ambition or gain, but rather in their humility and their desire for delivering the highest quality patient care possible. This individual consistently displays an innate drive for learning, pushing themselves beyond the comfort of knowledge already possessed, seeking deeper understanding with exceptional clinical reasoning, all while keeping patients at the forefront of thought and acting with the utmost integrity. I would find comfort in knowing that they're responsible for caring for my own family. Not only compassionate and self-motivated, but a natural leader, putting others first and recognizing the importance of a team-based approach. Appropriately noted by their peers, this individual is always prepared, quick to help others learn, pushes us to be better, and a golden group member. Their impact also extending into clinical rotations, with multiple preceptors noting that they take initiative, are great with patients and enjoyable to work with, and will be an outstanding provider wherever they land after training. And I agree. In honesty, we were not surprised hearing of these praises and accolades, and we have one more to share ourselves. So today, I present to you this year's winner of the prestigious James Franklin Wilson Award, to Mr. Jonathan Ware. Come on up, John.
Good morning, class of 2022. I'm immensely proud of each of you. It's been a pleasure to work with and get to know each of you. I can't say much more or I'll cry and then I can't present the award. My name is Taylor Jensen. I'm faculty and a graduate of the Wake Forest PA program. Today, I have been given the honor to present the Joel B. Miller Pro-humanitate Award to a very deserving member of the class of 2022. This student has consistently impressed me since joining faculty midway through your didactic year. Their professionalism, empathy, and overall kind spirit in interactions among their peers, staff, and faculty clearly stood out in my mind. To incorporate a bit of suspense while I keep talking, this particular student actually reached out to me in the past week with a very gracious and kind email, coincidentally while I was preparing this award introduction. This further solidified in my mind the appropriateness of this student for this award. So now look at each other, try to figure it out. The Joel B. Miller Pro-humanitate Award was established in 2018 and is presented to a PA student in the graduating class who embodies the character of its namesake, Dr. Joel Miller, and the motto of the Wake Forest University, Pro-humanitate, or for humanity. Dr. Miller, for those of you all that don't know, attended Wake Forest University as an undergraduate for medical school and for his residency, and so he got the title of being known as a triple deek. Over the decades, Dr. Miller gave himself to his beloved alma mater and embodied this pro-humanitate call using his knowledge, talents, and compassion to better the lives of others. Though his contributions can be measured in time, energy, financial support, this award honors him for his tireless teaching, guidance of medical trainees, PA students. His wisdom, approachability, humility, patient-centered philosophy set the tone for PA students who were lucky enough to get to work with him, which are all of you all, and myself. This award acknowledges his dedication and service and recognizes a graduate who demonstrates his qualities of unselfish service to others. Reflecting upon the award recipient, I can undoubtedly attest that this student embodies the values and compassion of which Dr. Miller is known for. Their multiple contributions through the Katherine Anderson Society, AAPA, and the support of their peers, all while navigating PA school, exemplify the appropriateness of the recipient for this award. This student is known for their selflessness, their active listening, being a fierce advocate for others, and as a friend to all. It is my pleasure to award this distinction to Abby Webb.
Good morning. I'm Sue Reich. I'm on the faculty of the PA Studies program. I have congratulated this class 2 weeks ago when I did my very last talk to the students and sent them on their way on the next stage of their journey with all kinds of information about how to get certified and licensed and do good things. So be amazing and do those great things. Congratulations again. Thank you to the family and friends, the families and friends that are here today. Congratulations to you watching the videos. We were over here just bawling. And thank you so much for the support that you've given to these future PAs and amazing world leaders. Speaking of doing good things, I have the honor of presenting the Patrick and Kathy Ober Community Leadership Award to a member of the class of 2022. For decades, Kathy and Pat have dedicated themselves to helping their communities in selfless acts of service. Please see the program for many more details regarding their admirable work and dedication to others. And I'm going to take the liberty right now of please having all of us acknowledge Dr. Pat Ober. Is your better half here? Is Kathy here today? She's taking care of things, as always. Turning our attention to the award. The recipient of this award is a graduate who has been dedicated to community service in ways that far exceed expectations. This graduate held a leadership position as a community engagement representative, but tore apart the job description and excelled amazingly. Among the many projects the award recipient initiated was a student volunteering project at the local community care center for this class and for the classes behind you. This enabled PA students to work there. This is a clinic for patients who have very little or no resources. And these students were able to access the care and volunteering in service of these amazing patient populations. The award recipient was integral in expanding the mentorship program with college students at nearby Winston-Salem State University and helped to coordinate students and faculty on both campuses in networking and mentoring. To further expand skills, this recipient applied for and was accepted in a highly competitive national PA fellowship with the Physician Assistant Education Association. And as if that weren't enough, while a student, this recipient entered the Health Equity Certification Program and Interprofessional Certification Program here at Wake Forest School of Medicine, which was layered on top of PA school, which was fairly rigorous, we might all agree. In conjunction with this certification, this student created a remarkable central resource sharing network that would help classmates and we practicing providers with a rapid access database for services that would be vital to the patients who need social and community support. In addition to the many extracurricular service-related undertakings, the recipient of this award excelled in clinical rotations. I had a pleasure of working just one afternoon with this student in my family medicine clinic, and she performed like a well-seasoned PA who had been in practice for years on her very first rotation. Other providers there gave her outstanding feedback and mentioned what a spectacular healthcare provider that she is. It likely comes as no surprise that the Patrick and Kathy Ober Community Leadership Award goes to PA Victoria Britt.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm presenting the last of the faculty awards, but before I do, I just want to briefly say that I am happy beyond words for your class, and I'd like to have one more round of applause initiated by me. So I'm Dr. Tanya Gregory. I'm faculty in PA Studies, and I had the honor of being the course director for the graduate project for the class of 2022. It's my honor to present the Kitty Bowman Excellence in Research Award, which was established in 2004 and named for the much beloved first registrar of the Wake PA program. The award named in Kitty Bowman's honor is given to members of the graduating class whose graduate project work represents an outstanding commitment to research or to the integration of evidence-based medicine into clinical practice. We are pleased to present this year's award to 3 students whose project focused on how to improve care for patients with acute ischemic stroke. So now they know who they are. Their work explored the unusually high rate of misdiagnosis in patients who have experienced this type of stroke in the posterior circulation. The students reviewed the medical literature to isolate contributors to misdiagnosis and ultimately suggested a new clinical paradigm with the potential to promote earlier identification of this type of stroke and permit more patients to receive appropriate therapy. This project was an intellectually complex and adventurous choice involving analysis of common gaps in the medical reasoning process, and the students displayed an impressive degree of professionalism, fluency, and expertise in their manuscript, oral presentation, and poster. Please join me in congratulating the winners of the 2022 Kitty Bowman Excellence in Research Award, Katie Sue, Cortland Viss, and Sarah Warshan.
And just like our poster, nobody mentioned Professor Wainick. Thank you for your mentorship.
Hello, everybody. So before we get started, I do want to say welcome to all of our family and friends joining us today in person, those of you watching online. More importantly, congrats to our class. I can't believe how slow yet quick, how much stress and chaos we've felt the past couple years, but the good memories and lifetime friends that we've made in the process. And I'm incredibly proud of all of us and just grateful that this moment is here today finally. So my name is Effie. This is my co-president, John. As our class leaders, we had the distinct pleasure of presenting our student awards. I know the class is also eager to hear the results after countless bombardment of emails and group me reminders. So John and I will read out the awards and descriptions as well as a personalized memento that we asked different classmates to fill out about the recipient. So when we call your name at the end, please come up so we can recognize you, take a picture, all the good stuff. So let's get started. So the Boone Preclinical Year Teaching Excellence Award is given to a faculty member who had the most positive impact on the class during the preclinical year of training. When asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "I think part of the reason the Boonies loved this professor so much is because they came into our lives at a really difficult time with fresh eyes and open ears. From day one, he was approachable and always there to help, either with schoolwork or just to be a hype man when a lot of us felt burnt out. It's a special thing to have a professor who isn't afraid to laugh and cry with you. Introducing him to the Boone cohort made all the difference for myself and a lot of my friends as well. I don't think I could have finished the year without him." So the Boone Preclinical Year Teaching Excellence Award goes to Professor Taylor Jensen.
So I'll be presenting the next award. Next award is the Winston-Salem Preclinical Year Teaching Excellence Award. This is given to a faculty member or lecturer or instructor who had the most positive impact on the class during the preclinical year of training. When asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "This professor went the extra mile to support our class. He understood how challenging it was to transition to medical professionals in such a complex environment, and remained unfaltering in his pursuit to provide care and encouragement throughout our collective and individual journeys. Sometimes the greatest impact a person can make is not necessarily in what they do, but just in being who they are. This professor taught us a great deal about the importance of empathy, humanity, and compassion in medicine, but most of what we learned was from watching him model these attributes every day. His dedication to his students, strength, stability, and success is not lost on any of us, and as a class, we want to deeply thank him for all he has done. It is our pleasure to welcome to the stage the Winston Campus Preclinical Teacher of the Year, Professor Ethan Stonerook.
Okay, The Clinical Year Excellence Award will be given next. This is given to the clinical team member who has shown remarkable service and education and dedication to the clinical year students. So when asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "I cannot think of anyone more deserving of this award than this professor. He has been an enthusiastic, dedicated, and compassionate resource to the class of 2022 as a teacher, advisor, and clinical year director. He is a bright light for our class and always tries to share something positive to help motivate, challenge, support us. He was always a phone call away when we needed help in clinical year. His passion for primary care and providing high-quality health care to all our patients is something that we will take with us well into our careers. I don't know if I could have made it through PA school without his support and guidance." Clinical Year Excellence Award goes to Professor Brian Geigler.
The next award is the Medical Preceptor of the Year Award. This is given to the preceptor who excels in providing clinical year instruction within the medical-based rotations. When asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "This PA embodies every aspect of what it means to be an excellent preceptor. Not only does he challenge his students from performing procedures to understanding pathophysiology to placing orders and consults in the system, but he shows up to work every day with a smile on his face, ready to teach, and cares for his patients like no other." In inpatient medicine here at Baptist, the days were long with sick patients, but this preceptor intentionally created an environment that was both engaging and positive. He was always providing feedback on aspects of improvement in my patient care, and I feel like I blossomed as a clinician under his supervision. The Medical Preceptor of the Year Award goes to Nicholas Holler.
All right, for Surgical Preceptor of the Year Award, this is given to a preceptor who excels in providing clinical year instruction within the surgical-based rotations. So when asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "This preceptor was one of the best preceptors I had. He is such an excitement for teaching inpatient medicine and explaining supremely complicated pathology. This passion is palpable and encouraging. No one else gets as jazzed about fluid electrolyte balances like he does. His practice is meticulous because that's what his patients need. Not the kitchen sink, but rather a very intentional, concentrated, and clarified medical interventions. Both his patients and his students benefited greatly by learning from him." So the Surgical Preceptor of the Year Award goes to Nathan Ogilvie.
The next award is the Honorary Katherine Anderson Society Award. This is given to the individual who has provided outstanding service to the class. When asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "We have decided to give this award to a professor who joined our class further into our PA education than many, but somehow managed to hit the ground running. While we as a class pushed our faculty to think outside the box in many ways, this professor pushed us all to see our differences as valuable and our collective voice as powerful. Whether it is in an academic lecture or a one-on-one meeting, she will make you feel important, seen, and heard. Through challenging discussions, inspirational podcasts, and incredible guest speakers, she made sure that we, the class of 2022, would graduate suited to provide the highest level of care to patients from all walks of life. We could not have been luckier to have been taught, mentored, and supported by this incredibly remarkable woman. And for these reasons and many more, it is my privilege to give the honorary KS award to Professor Andrea McKinnon.
So many tears today. So this next award is unique in the sense that recipient will be receiving 2 awards, actually. The first is the Outstanding Class Member Award that's given to the member of the graduating class who has shown remarkable service and dedication. And then the second is a Class Appreciation Award given to the individual who has gone the extra mile for the class in some capacity, for which the class is extremely grateful. So when asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "This student is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of friend and human. She is strong and smart, sensitive and caring, selfless and fearless. I could go on about how well she is going to do in life based on her intelligence, but that is not even close to the most amazing thing about her. She is outstanding because of how much she cares about the one she loves. She is legendary because she always leaves a place better than the way she found it. She is exceptional because she has put her heart and soul into making this class better, both with tough love and nurturing support. There is not one person in this room that has not changed for the better because of her, and that speaks volumes to her impact and her legacy." So it's my pleasure to present the award for Outstanding Class Member and Class Appreciation Award to Madison Redwine.
All right. The Outstanding Class Member Award is given to a member of the graduating class who has shown remarkable service and dedication to the class. When asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "I've had the pleasure of knowing this person as a classmate, fellow KAS member, roommate, and most importantly, friend. I cannot stress enough how diligently she has worked for our class for the last 2 years. She was constantly on the phone or video calls with faculty and fellow classmates, trying to better our class in some way. In true leader fashion, she demonstrated a gift for recognizing skills and talents in others and calling on people when needed to make things happen. She embodies the spirit of family, and considering how large her actual family is, I personally have been blown away by how much time and effort she invests in each individual in our cohort. Phone calls, evening walks, encouraging text, takeout dinners, she always found ways to engage on a personal level with so many of us and include us in her family. We were a better class because of her character and her efforts, and I know she will be an incredible PA and leader moving forward. I'm proud to present this Outstanding Class Member Award to Effie Spears.
Okay, our final award. This is the Outstanding Contributions to the Class of 2022. It's given to the individual who consistently provides assistance and support to the class. So when asked to make a comment about the recipient, a student shared, "This student in our class is a person who exemplifies kindness, gregariousness, selflessness, and a fierce tenacity towards helping others. This student was always the first to reach out in times of need. Whenever classmates needed encouragement, even if it was the person herself who was struggling, she would go above and beyond to make sure that others knew how they had the support if they needed it and could call on her at any time. She was constantly reaching out to fellow classmates through WebEx chats, our GroupMe, texts, calls. While she may be spending the next chapter of her life in the mountainous state out west, Winston-Salem was a brighter place while she was here. This student shows relentless support and positivity to our class, and I'm so excited to celebrate with her because without her, the past 2 years would have been noticeably darker. Outstanding contributions to the class of 2022 goes to Caitlin Finnegan.
Hey friends, I'm Ethan Stonerook. I'm one of the assistant professors at the PA program, as you know. Wow, it is so rewarding to see how far you guys have come. Do you remember the first time you read the words develop a mechanistic hypothesis? And you wondered what in the world that even is? In the last 2 years, it's become tacit knowledge for you at this point. You've gone from your first IBL case, did anybody even ask if he was donating blood, to being able to manage complex illness. You've seen the spectrum of life from birth to death. You've seen the strength and the frailty of humanity. You've become different people, right? Congratulations. I believe the charge to the alumni talk is typically a speech aimed toward getting you, now that you have a salary, to give some of it to us. But if you're from Alumni Affairs, I'm going to ask you to cover your ears because I'm not going to do that today. Although if you're feeling compelled, the official Wake PA Venmo is Ethan-Stonerook. It was his joke, that's why I winked. I equally panicked when I got the call to this. Mine just didn't go away. But in all seriousness, I want to ask you guys to consider a question as you leave today. After today, what does your relationship with the Wake PA program look like? I'm not talking about your relationship with an institution. I learned from an early age that forming relationships with institutions is a naive experiment that leads to heartache and bitterness. I'm a Cubs fan. Thank you. No, I'm talking about your relationship with us, with these people, with your neighbor, and with the people who, most importantly, come after you. My favorite author is a farmer from Kentucky by the name of Wendell Berry. He's an essayist, a poet, writes fiction. In one of his essays, he defines community for us. Community is not merely the condition of physical proximity, no matter the condition of the space or the WebEx breakout room. Community is the mental and spiritual condition of knowing that the place is shared, and that the people who share the place, define and limit the possibility of each other's lives. It's the knowledge that the people have each other, their concern for each other, their trust in each other, and it's the freedom with which they come and go among themselves. I'll say it again, community is not merely a condition of physical proximity. It's a mental and spiritual condition of knowing that the place is shared, and that the people who share the place are defined and limited by the possibilities of each other's lives. It's the knowledge that they have each other, it's their concern for each other, their trust in each other, and it's the freedom with which they can come and go among each other. The first time I taught in Boone, a beautiful thing happened. It was November of your preclinical year, and I was super nervous, but I was finally fulfilling my dream of teaching at Wake PA. About 3 slides into my lecture, the slide advancing remote control falls to the ground. And it filtered through my traumatic memory, about 100 batteries just flew everywhere. At that point, there was kind of that audible silence, except I think maybe Christian or Lexi Antos were laughing a little bit, I don't know. Is he gonna pick him up? Is he gonna leave him there? So I bend over to pick him up, and about that time, John Ware thinks to himself, please don't hit your head on the podium. And about 2 seconds later, I stand up, slammed my head into the loudest podium in Appalachia. This got one of those audible winces. The crowd had seemed to double by the time I stood back up. So I put the batteries back in the remote control, go to click forward, they're in there backwards, so it still doesn't work. This was my first lecture. I had driven up to Boone with Dr. Gregory because she was helping me get situated. So in my panic, I looked to her in the corner of the room for some kind of moral support, and she's red in the face, looking down at her shoes, and her shoulders are going up and down, doing a terrible job of suppressing her laughter. You guys were outright laughing. So a beautiful thing happened in that moment. You had me. Community is the knowledge that the people have each other. And in that moment, you guys had me. And somehow in the magic of my humiliation, I had you. We started to develop a rapport. I started to garner your trust, your concern. Thank you. I taught that same session in Winston that same week. If you remember, I showed a video of 6 people on a small stage. The room is perfectly dark except the stage and the people. That's all you can see. And the stage starts rotating counterclockwise, and the people have to walk just to stay in the same place. And the stage starts to pick up speed, and they start to run. And the ones on the outside have to run a little bit faster than the ones on the inside just to keep up. They start jockeying for position. A few people get knocked over. Every now and then they stop running and they lean in with centrifugal force. And they're forced to look at each other, at their neighbor, to see their expression on their face. During that session, I didn't drop the remote control. I didn't become magically human. In fact, it became clear to me during that session that there was a group of you who may have felt like you were running on the outermost edge a little bit faster just to keep up. That the people who share the place define and limit the possibilities of each other's lives. After that session, you all graciously met with me, and we began to create a community. The highest honor of this vocation, of practicing medicine, medical education, of life, the highest honor is to stop running in place for a moment, to lean toward our neighbor, and to see the expression on their face. Is it anguish? Is it fear? Is it joy? And to have a moment of mutual recognition. Later in Mr. Berry's same essay, he says the following, talking about our relationships with institutions, which I clearly have one. I must say that I have little faith that we can improve ourselves or our condition merely by forming into organizations and drafting statements and giving public allegiance to principles. We have no right to hope for a better world unless we make ourselves better people. In a time when we're pushed away from each other, told that our differences outweigh our similarities, where cynicism and strife seem to rule the day, you all have chosen to stay engaged with us, both as an institution and as people. And I've watched us respond with reticence, fear, caught on our heels, absolutely, but also with humility, with a spirit of inquiry, with a resolve to understand your experience and to do better. It's been hard at times, it's been intense at times, deep hurt has occurred, expectations have gone unmet. Individuals have felt misrepresented or unrepresented entirely. And in the midst of all this, I've seen individuals in the student body and in the staff and faculty choose to stick it out, to engage in dialogue, to listen in order to understand, to apologize and forgive, to work to do better, to stay. Community is the mental and spiritual condition of knowing that the place is shared and that the people who share the place define and limit the possibilities of each other's lives. At some point in this talk, I'm supposed to convince you to come back and give lectures, to facilitate IBL, to precept our students, but not as a resource and a system, but as a friend and a colleague, as a member of a community. The work of peacemaking and growth, of justice, And goodness and mercy cannot be put on a timetable. It is a work of people seeing themselves and their neighbors in a shared space and humbly, persistently engaging in inquiry, in curiosity, and in care, in listening and coming and going among each other with freedom. I hope our relationship with you as a class and as individuals continues to heal and grow. I hope you come tell your stories in being a PA, or that you precept our future students, your future students, in your practice, or facilitate parallel charts, or just sit down in our office to tell us about a challenging patient. Our door at Wake PA is always open to you guys. Congratulations.
It's hard not to cry. So excited for you guys. I'm going to ask Dean Freischlag to please join me for the conferral of degrees. Will the 2022 candidates for the degree Master of Medical Science please stand? Dean Freischlag, it is with pleasure that I present them to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Medicine for the conferral of their degree.
By virtue of the authority granted to me by the Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of Gail Bodner and the faculty of the School of Medicine, and upon successful completion of all degree requirements, I confer upon you the degree Master of Medical Science.
All right. I'm Brian Peacock. I had the honor of being the program director for the class of 2022, and they have asked me to provide the closing remarks. And I know what you're thinking, Peacock, keep it short. There's a tent outside, there's probably some food, maybe a bagel. I'll see what I can do. I do have a message for you as we close out this ceremony, and that is I want to take some time and think about who you were, who you are, and who you are going to become. It wasn't that long ago that you were excited, energetic, filling out the long applications to go to PA school. The ultimate desire to become a physician assistant. 2 years later, long hours, lots of work, stressful times, here you are, a graduate from one of the top PA programs in the country. My question for you is, who are you going to become now? The current healthcare system puts a lot of emphasis on productivity. How many patients did you see yesterday? How many patients can you see tomorrow? How many papers can you publish? How many posters can you present? What do you need to do to get the next promotion? I call this your CV self. What can you do to put on your CV that's considered successful? The problem is, it started to define if we are successful this way, or who we are and how valuable we are. I need your help to change this. It shouldn't be about how many patients you can see. It should be about how many patients you can care for. We need to redefine what is successful in our profession. I don't want you to look at your daily list of patients and think, how many patients do I need to see today? But to think of them one patient at a time. What is their story? What can I learn from them? And how can I possibly impact them for the rest of their life? You may be saying, why? Why am I asking you to help do this? It's because you helped me do this. We, as a PA program, have been around for over 50 years, graduating highly successful leaders in the PA profession. We know how to train a student once they start to be able to diagnose and treat a patient. You asked us and said to us, this is not enough. We need to care for the patient, their families, and their communities. You helped us see that. You helped us see past our CV self and told us to learn. We had stuff to learn. And for us to take what we learn and apply it not only to our patients and our communities, but to every student who decides to come to Wake Forest. So class of 2022, take the energy you brought us into your workplace. Help us with the ripple in the water. With enough ripples, we can make a wave. So congratulations and thank you for who you are, and I can't wait to see who you will become. After we close the ceremony in a minute, there is a tent that all guests are welcome to go to straight through the doors in the back.
If you are able, please stand. I invite all the faculty and family and friends who are here today and who are online to join me in offering this blessing to our 2022 PA. Please receive this blessing from all of us that you see, all of those who you don't see, but all of those upon whom the shoulders you stand. May you be blessed with the source of your spirit, and may it be a refuge for you when you need refreshment. May you lean into that source. And there are going to be times when things are challenging, when the burden that you bear is difficult. And during those times, may you be blessed with remembering this amazing community that is here to support you. It's not going anywhere. And may you be blessed with courage and tenacity and that drive to care for our community. We really need you. Thank you very much for your dedication. And so finally, may you be a beacon of hope. May you be a beacon of healing in this very broken world. May it be so. And you're off. Congratulations.